Yo, I'm Style Redefined, and this is a video in response to a previous video I've made earlier. I want to let you all know that I've read your comments, I've taken a lot into consideration, and I've taken out a lot of time to reflect and everything. So let's just get into it. So I took some time off, looked at some of the comments and rewatched my video. I did this in order to understand more and try to reflect on what happened and why things happened. And I have understood, realized that I was wrong on quite a few things and have made some mistakes. The first thing was my lack of professionalism. A lot of things I said in that video was not said in the correct manner, understandably. I mentioned that in a pinned comment as well. As I was watching that video, I realized something. A lot of the things I was saying in the manner that I did was completely out of character for me. As I was watching and listening to the things I was saying, I remarked I must have been I must have been really mad or frustrated when I made that video. Because I would never talk like this. Honestly, I would never talk like that. The things I would say, I would never say stuff like this. Anyway, I will tell you why I was frustrated later on in this video. But yeah, lack of that level-headed nature that I usually have was not apparent there in that video, unfortunately. So I apologize for that. Even then, still though, in many cases, professionalism has never been something I touch upon. I mainly still want to talk to you guys on a level and be myself. The second thing is wording and terminology. I understand how a lot of the things I said may have come off a bit wrong, simply due to the words and terminology used in that video. I accept that and need to be more considerate about how I word things. A lot of thought did go into that video, and even then still once again it was mainly frustration that really carried a lot of words in that video. Like I said though, we will touch up on this frustration aspect a bit more later. And the third thing was the use of gameplay. I used some examples previously to describe a few key points, and it misled a lot of people to believe things that I didn't actually mean. It also caused people to think I was targeting certain individuals when I was explaining my points. A friend of mine pointed this out, and I accepted that I was at fault. He advised I could have created the gameplay scenarios myself to avoid possible misconception when explaining certain points. I agreed and thanked him on his feedback. I appreciated it. So why did I make this video to follow up on that previous video? Simply put, after that video was released, there were a lot of things said. I don't mean the hate comments. I was kind of expecting all that, honestly. But it was when I spoke to someone. They told me they saw the video, and as they spoke about it, they looked hurt. I felt it. I could see it on their faces and hear it in their voices. When I saw it and heard their tones, it actually began to hurt me as well. I said to myself, was it really that bad? I questioned if I did the right thing at all with making that video, and it was even hard for me to sleep that night, due to seeing those certain reactions. The next morning, as I was heading to work, it caused me to think a lot. The thing was that I couldn't really bear to see anyone be hurt, especially because of me. I'm a peaceful person. I don't swear. I do my best to avoid bad habits or bad actions. I enforce strong morals and like to do as much good as possible. So the event caused me to reflect a lot. Then this entire event reminded me of a discussion I had previously about Bayonetta 1 and Bayonetta 2. Bayonetta 1 was the game that has more depth, and Bayonetta 2 is a lot more simple compared to Bayonetta 1. For this reason, there were many people who preferred Bayonetta 1 over 2. Yet funny enough, I preferred Bayonetta 2 for that exact same reason as to why people less preferred Bayonetta 2, because it was more simple. Then I realized, if I can accept that for Bayonetta, then why didn't I accept that for Ninja Gaiden? Previously in my other video, I talked about Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge being objectively superior. Using those exact terms, I described Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge to be the superior game simply because it had an enhanced combat system compared to the previous game with added depth and more mechanics. But I look at Bayonetta. Bayonetta 1 has more depth and is more technical, and yet this is the same reason as to why I don't like the game as much as Bayonetta 2. I literally like Bayonetta 2 more than Bayonetta 1 for the exact opposite reason as to why I like 3 Razor's Edge more. It's quite strange actually, isn't it? So then I realized the term objectively superior truly does depend on the individual. What I should have said in that video was that Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge is the game which was superior to me, because it is a game which better caters towards my way of playing and such when it comes to Ninja Gaiden. It's literally what I describe to be a freestyler's dream. So yeah, I was wrong. I do want to thank the people who pointed that out in the comments as well. There were people who disagreed respectfully, and I did see one comment that said that the reasons that I preferred 3 Razor's Edge were the same reasons as to why he didn't prefer 3 Razor's Edge as much. With this, I have come to accept my mistake and also say that I was wrong. So I didn't actually want to make that video, believe it or not. So why did I make it then? Yeah, I'll tell you why. I made it due to annoyance, but it was tempered with frustration. Basically, over my time playing Ninja Gaiden, I've always been harassed by primarily Ninja Gaiden 2 fans. They are always trying to push their opinions on me, calling what I love trash, and discrediting a lot of my work because of it as well. Unless the content and the games you play are not Ninja Gaiden 2 and Ninja Gaiden Black, then many of these guys annoy you to no end. And it really started to take its toll on me. This isn't just about me either. These people irritate so many Ninja Gaiden players that I know. A lot of these Ninja Gaiden 2 fans really want you to accept that Ninja Gaiden 2 is the greatest game ever made, or at the very least, the best Ninja Gaiden game. If you do not accept their beloved game, then they do either one of 4 things, or all 4 things, yeah? They either mock you, they mock the games that you play, they discredit your work, they try to force their opinions on you. And I was getting sick and tired of it. This has been happening for years at this point. I'm sure there are many people in the Ninja Gaiden community who have also expressed similar things, if not the same, so I speak on behalf of those people as well. It really is frustrating, but the video wasn't supposed to be as hard-hitting as it was. Before I planned on making that video, a friend of mine showed me screenshots of people making fun of me in some Discord servers. I am not going to share the screenshots because obviously I don't want to risk having their identity disclosed, even with their names censored. But I saw them and I was surprised, mainly because these people who were making fun of me were all people whom I have engaged with in the past and respected quite well. I never said anything bad about these people, or ever intended to. And guess what? They were all Ninja Gaiden 2 fans. And amongst that group of people was that Ninja Gaiden 2 speedrunner that I mentioned in my previous video. It made sense actually, because even before that video I made, I did notice that the speedrunner was speaking to me in a rather odd way, which felt quite patronizing at times. Yeah, so do you guys see the dots connecting now? So when I saw all that, naturally I got more annoyed, and it added fuel to the fire of which I took out in that video. I am sick and tired of being harassed by these Ninja Gaiden 2 fans. Everywhere you go, unless you are a Ninja Gaiden 2 or Ninja Gaiden Black player, you are bashed on, or your favorite games are bashed on, and it is super exhausting, man. Even when you leave them alone, they come to you just to annoy you and start trouble. Yeah? Like, look at this. Yeah, in my Ninja Gaiden 3 katana styling video, some guy has to bring up Ninja Gaiden 2. And it's just like, why? Why do you have to bring this up? Why are you trying to start a fight in the comment section about Ninja Gaiden 2? Yeah? The video is not even about Ninja Gaiden 2. If you dislike Free Razor's Edge so much, then why did you come here? Yeah? You can clearly see the title. Yeah? The title says Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. You knew this, you still clicked on it. Like, why are you here? Same thing with my Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge Master Ninja style through. Yeah? Some guy has to comment. Now, he said my skill is amazing at the very least for his credit, but then he brings up Ninja Gaiden 2 and he says the game sucks. He says 3 Razor's Edge sucks and that Ninja Gaiden 2 is better. Alright? Or Ninja Gaiden 2 forever, whatever. Yeah? Just why? Why do you have to bring this up for? Yeah? And then in my Ninja Gaiden 3 Kasumi styling video, yeah, there was another guy that asks about Ninja Gaiden 2. Now, at least, to this guy's credit, at least this dude was respectful, right? At least this guy was respectful, okay? But honestly, it's just constant, yeah? And these are just the things that happen publicly, okay? There has been so much when it comes to chats, when it comes to messages, yeah, and it's so infuriating, man. So infuriating. Okay? Now, because of all of this, I am gradually distancing myself more and more from Ninja Gaiden streams and communities, because literally all they do and talk about is either Ninja Gaiden Black or Ninja Gaiden 2. I just tend to stream myself at times, and as I'm playing whatever Ninja Gaiden game I may play, some people come into my stream just to bother me about Ninja Gaiden 2. I remember when somebody came in as I was playing a Ninja Gaiden game, I can't remember which one it was, and he brings up Ninja Gaiden 2 combat. I said that Ninja Gaiden 3 combat is superior. I can't remember if I said it was superior for me or not. But then he started calling me delusional. He was calling me delusional just for my opinion. Yeah? So this guy has the audacity to come into my stream, ask for my opinion, gets an answer, then annoys me because he didn't hear the answer he wanted. Yeah, at that point that just made me mad. And I'm so fed up with these Ninja Gaiden 2 fanboys. After I expressed my displeasure, he just left. Yeah, I never heard from him again. But it's just too much. It's too much. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. I am a very busy man. Yeah. Imagine this. I come home from work. Yeah. I do my training. I fulfill my domestic duties. I have multiple jobs. I run a community. I host community events. Now I just want to chill and play some games. Yeah, maybe Ninja Gaiden. Someone comes in and says Ninja Gaiden 2 is trash. So I'm just like, Yeah, I'm streaming a game and someone comes and says Ninja Gaiden 2 is trash. Oh, sorry, Sigma 2 is trash. Okay? Or, the same scenario. I come home from work, I do my training, fulfill my domestic duties, have multiple jobs, I run a community, do all this stuff. Now I just want to chill and play an NG game. Okay? Now, I'm streaming the game, perhaps someone comes in and says, Ninja, free Razor's Edge is trash. Yeah, I'm just like, again? Really? Again? Like, bro, okay. It's either Ninja Gaiden Black, Ninja Gaiden 2, Ninja Gaiden Black, Ninja Gaiden 2, Ninja Gaiden Black, Ninja Gaiden 2, Ninja Gaiden Black, Ninja Gaiden 2. Yeah, Ninja Gaiden Black, Ninja Gaiden 2. And it's just like, bruv, okay, I get it. You like Ninja Gaiden Black and Ninja Gaiden 2. Okay, I understand. Alright? Please, leave me alone. Just leave me alone. So you may think I regret making that video, but the truth is that I do not, and I'll tell you why. 1. It helped me open my mind and I learned something, which is always a positive. 2. It helped me to show how truly toxic the Ninja Gaiden community is. Until that point, I never truly knew how bad some Ninja Gaiden players really are. Some were misinterpreting my points, some were straight up attacking me, some were just starting trouble with others, some were straight up lying about what I was saying, misquoting me, and putting all sorts of words in my mouth. Now look at this. My friend showed me some screenshots from certain servers to show what people were saying about the video after I made it. One guy said I called Farnham an idiot, which wasn't true. I hope Farnham saw that video to know that this is just plain false. Like, it's just not true. That was not true. Someone said I dissed the Godfather Dictator's run. He did say I called the run boring, which is true, and I'm at fault for that. That was the wrong use of words. What I should have said was that the method of gameplay was just unappealing to me, really. So I can accept that, okay? I'm at fault there. Yeah, I did call the run boring in the video, yeah, or eventually becoming a boring, whatever, it's the same thing, yeah. So I do take accountability for that, and I'm at fault for that, okay? Someone was saying that I said Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 is better because it has more combo potential, which isn't true. In my video, when I was comparing the features of Ninja Gaiden 2 and Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, I mentioned that Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 has more combo potential. I didn't mention it as either a positive or a negative about the game. That is up to the player to decide. I marked it with a plus simply because it is just an additional feature the game provides, not because it is a good thing. One important thing I need to add is that I'm a styler. I style. This doesn't just mean doing big combos and stuff. I don't treat Ninja Gaiden like Bayonetta or DMC. I treat it as its own thing. I also go for quick kills and stuff. If you watch my gameplay, then you would know. Style is not always about lengthy combos. Style involves performing things with a degree of elegance, beauty, grace. It's all about beautifying what you do. I beautify my gameplay. Plus, this is not just something I do in action games. This is something I do in everything I do. I do this in sports games, racing games, shooting games, and more. Not just in gaming, but in real life as well. This is me with nunchucks. This is me with my fire nunchucks. Fire staff. Me doing martial arts. Style is just who I am. Some guy even said I should die for something I never even said. He even admits he didn't even watch the video. He is just taking their word for it. Do you see how toxic this community is? I'm sure there are many more instances of this happening that I am unaware of. But this really was an eye-opener for me to how toxic these people can really be. On the other hand, it really helped show me who truly supports me. Some guy made an X post, and there was this guy named Akiru. I really appreciate, and he said he believed in me, innit? Like, there's guys that do believe in me, do trust me, understand me a lot better, yeah. And even though they may disagree with me, or some things that I say, yeah, they still say that I'm a good guy, and this is not the right kind of publicity for somebody like me, yeah, or things are being shown negatively, not in the correct way, right? And I really do appreciate it, man. It means a lot to me. Thank you. Yeah, your understanding, yeah, your empathy. It does mean a lot to me. So Akiru, thank you. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, trust me, I really do, man. It means a lot to me. You have no idea. Yeah. And there have been many others as well who have been supportive, gave good constructive criticism and great feedback. And I just want to let you all know that I appreciate it and I appreciate you all. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Like, seriously. It does mean a lot to me. It really does mean a lot to me. So guys, we need to stop this. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound and Ninja Gaiden 4 are around the corner and will attract a whole bunch of new people. We don't want to scare them off, especially if in the case you may not like Ninja Gaiden 4 or Rangebound as much as a Ninja Gaiden 2 or Ninja Gaiden Black or something. Yeah, are you going to treat these people the same way you have treated me? Just trying to force Ninja Gaiden Black and Ninja Gaiden 2 down their throats. It's not nice, man, to keep hearing this and dealing with this all the time. It will turn them away. They don't deserve that. I was never interested with being involved with all of this conflict. We have to stop forcing our preferences onto others. I understand. You have a preferred Ninja Gaiden game. That's totally fine. The great thing about Ninja Gaiden is that every single edition of a Ninja Gaiden game offers a very unique experience in either a few or many regards. Instead of telling people to always try your favorite Ninja Gaiden game, just accept theirs. There's no need to keep calling it trash just because it isn't your cup of tea. If they haven't tried your preferred Ninja Gaiden game, just make it a recommendation to them. That's it. We have to stop bashing each other's favorite Ninja Gaiden game or edition. Everyone has their own preference, and let's leave it at that. So here's what I'm going to do. Yeah? I'm going to delete this video because 1. I don't like the video, especially due to it being made from annoyance and frustration. 2. I don't like some of the things I've said in the way that I did. 3. I was clearly wrong about certain things, even though some important points still stand. 4. It misrepresents me, my morals, my beliefs, and my good nature. 5. I don't want there to ever be a piece of work from myself that has a history of hurting others. I will not allow any of my work to do that to anyone. Alright? I can't. I can't allow that to happen. If there's any work of mine that exists and it's hurting people, then that content needs to go. Yeah, that work has to be destroyed immediately. Okay? Now please, Ninja Gaiden 2 fans, stop harassing me. I want to get to Ninja Gaiden 2 someday as well, but I am super busy, and I will play Ninja Gaiden 2 when I want to play Ninja Gaiden 2. When I want, on my own terms, when I say. You all telling me to play Ninja Gaiden 2 isn't going to make me want to play it any more than I currently do. Plus, the only access I have to Ninja Gaiden 2 is with Xenia, because I haven't got an Xbox anymore. That's why I haven't played it as much, and I haven't recorded much of it either, because the game itself on Xenia just feels off to me. Plus, there's always a sound bug that I have to deal with. But yeah, just stop bothering me. Okay? I'm done.